Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, there be much to long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so I call it, except nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so far from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, and sit so neighbour to his youth and behaviour, that you vouchsafe your rest here in unwholesome little time, so by your companies to draw on the pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that open lies within our remedy. Good gentlemen, with much talk of you, and sure I am two men there is not little to whom you more appears. If it would please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill, as to expend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance. Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty. But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded. Thanks, Rosencrantz, and gentle Guildenstern. Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, some of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is. Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him. Aye, amen. The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned. Thou still hast been the father of good news. Have I, my lord? I assure my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine holds not the trail of policy so sure as a youth knew, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy. Oh, speak of that do I long to hear. Give first admittance to the ambassadors. Thy news shall be the fruit of that great feast. Thyself do grace to them and bring them in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the hidden source of all your son's distemper. I doubt it is never but the name. His father's death. Lord, or hasty marriage. Well, we shall sift it. Welcome, my good friends. Say, Voltaman, what from our brother Norway? Most fair return of greetings and desires. Upon our first, he sent out to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared to be a preparation against the Polack, but, better looked into, he truly found it was against your highness, whereat grieved that so his sickness, age, and impotence was forcibly borne in hand, sends out arrests on Fortinbras, which he, in brief, obeys, receives rebuke from Norway, and, in fine, makes vow before his uncle never more to give the essay of arms against your majesty, whereon old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him 300,000 crowns in annual fee, and his commission to employ those soldiers so levied as before against the Polack, with an entreaty, herein further shown, that it might please you to give quiet pass through your dominions for this enterprise, on such regards of safety and allowance as therein are set down. It likes us well, and at our more considered time we'll read, answer, and think upon this business. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labour. Go to your rest. At night we'll feast together. Most welcome home. This business is well ended. My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night night, and time is time, were nothing but the waste, night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is to be nothing else but mad? But let that go. More matter, with less art. Madam, I swear I use no art at all. But he's mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity. And pity 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad let us grant him then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect. Or rather say the cause of this defect. For this defective comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Depend. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who, in her duty and obedience mark, hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia, it's an ill phrase, vile phrase, beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear it. Thus, in her excellent white bosoms, these, etc., came this from Hamlet to her. Good, madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars of fire? Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not aught to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best, oh, most best. Believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet. This, in obedience, hath my daughter shown me, and more above, hath the solicitings as they fell out by time, by means, and place, all given to mine ear. But how hath she received this? How hath she received this love? What do you think of me? As of a man faithful and honourable, I would fain prove so. But what might you think? When I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I perceived it, I must tell you that before my daughter told me, what might you, or my dear majesty your queen here, think, if I had played the desk, or table book, or given my heart a winking, mute and dumb, or looked upon this love with idle sight, what might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star, this must not be. And then I prescripts gave her, that she should lock herself from his resort, that no messengers received no tokens, which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repelled, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence into a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves and all we wail for. Do you think 'tis thus? It may be, very like. Had there been such a time, I would fain know that I positively said 'tis so when it proved otherwise. Not that I know. Take this from this, if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hidden deep within the centre. How may we try it further? You know sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in London. So he does indeed. At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind the narrows, then, mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason formed thereon, let me be no assistant for her state, but keep a farm and carters. We will try it. But look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading. Away, I do beseech you both away. I'll board him presently. How does my good Lord Hamlet? Well, God a mercy. Do you know me, my lord? Excellent well. You are a fishmonger. Not I, my lord. Well, then I would you were so honest a man. Honest, my lord. Aye, sir, to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000. That's very true, my lord. For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being the god-kissing carrion... Have you a daughter? I have, my lord. Let her not walk in the sun. Conception's a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it. How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. He said it was a fishmonger. Yes, far gone, far gone. And truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love, very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord? Words. What is the matter, my lord? Between whom? I mean the matter that you read, my lord. Slander, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands, all which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For you yourself, sir, shall go old as I am, if like a crab you could go backward. Well, this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord? Into my grave? Indeed, that's out of the air. How pregnant sometimes its replies are. A happiness that often madness sits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave him, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting to him and my daughter. My lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you. You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I would more willingly part with all, except my life. Except my life. Except my life. Very well, my lord. Tedious old fools. You go to seek the Lord Hamlet, there he is. God save you, sir. My honoured lord, my most dear lord, my excellent good friends, how dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do you both? As the indifferent children of the earth, happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap we are not the very button, nor the soles of the shoes, neither, my lord. Then you live about our waist, or in the middle of our favours, faith, our privates we. In the secret parts of fortune, oh, most true, she is a strumpet. What news? None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest. Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune which sends you to prison hither? Prison, my lord. And marks a prison. Then is the world one, a goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst. This is not so, my lord. Why then 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison. Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind. Oh God, I could be bound in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams. Which dreams, indeed, are ambition. For the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream. A dream itself is but a shadow. Truly, and I hold ambition of so airy and light a quality that it is but a shadow's shadow. Then are our beggars bodies, and our monarchs and outstretched heroes the beggars' shadows? Shall we to the court? For by my fare I cannot reason. We'll wait upon you. No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you like an honest man I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore? To visit you, my lord. No other occasion. Beggar that I am, I'm even poor in thanks, but I thank you. And sure, dear friends, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Are we not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come. Nay, speak. Speak. Where to go? Yeah, okay. What should we say, my lord? Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there's a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft and of colour. I know the good king and queen have sent for you. To what end, my lord? But you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, by the consonancy of our youth, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, and by what more dear a better proposer could charge you withal, be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no. What say you? Nay, then I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off. My lord, we were sent for. I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen mold no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, this brave or hanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire. Why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how expressed, admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so. Oh my lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts. Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me? What to think, my lord? If you delight not in man, what lent an entertainment the players shall receive from you? We courted them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service. He that plays the king shall be welcome. His majesty shall have tribute of him. The adventurous knight shall use his foil and target. The lover shall not sigh gratis. The humorous man shall end his part in peace. The clown shall make those laugh whose lungs the tickle of the seer. And the lady shall speak her mind freely, or the blank verse shall halt for it. What players are they? Even those who are wont to take such delight, the tragedians of the city. How chances if they travel? Their residence built a reputation, and profit was better both ways. I think their inhibition comes by the means of the late innovation. Do they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed? No, indeed they are not. How comes it? Do they grow rusty? Nay, their endeavour keeps in the wonted pace, but there is, sir, an eyrie of children, little heiresses, that cry out in the top of question and are most tyrannically clapped for. These are now the fashion, and so berattle the common stages, so they call them, that many wearing rapiers are afraid of goose quills and dare scarce come thither. What? Are they children? Who maintains them? How are they escorted? Will they pursue the quality no longer than they can sing? Will they not say afterwards, if they should grow themselves to common players, as it is most likely their means are no better, their writers do them wrong to make them exclaim against their own succession? Faith, there has been much to do on both sides, and the nation holds it no sin to target controversy. There was for a while no money bid for argument unless the poet and the player went to cuffs in the question. Is it possible? Oh, there has been much throwing about the brains. Do the boys carry it away? Aye, that they do, my lord. Hercules and his load too. It is not very strange, for my uncle is king of Denmark. And those that would make mouths at him when my father lived give 20, 40, 50, and 100 ducats apiece for his picture in little. It's blood. There is something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it out. There are the players. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come then. The appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my extent to the players, which I tell you must show fairly outwards, should more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome, but my uncle, father, and aunt, mother are deceived. In what, my dear lord? I am but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk for my handsaw. Well be with you, gentlemen. Hawk, you Guildenstern, and you too, Eddie Cheery here. That great baby you see there is not yet out of the swaddling clouds. Happily, his second time come to them, for they say an old man is twice a child. I will prophesy he comes to tell me the players' market. You say right, sir. Monday morning it was indeed. My lord, I have news to tell you. My lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome, the actors had come hither, my lord. Buzz. Upon my honour. Then came each actor on his ass. The best actors in the world. Either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical, historical pastoral, a scene undividable, indivisible, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light. For the law of writ and the liberty, these are the only men. Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou! What treasure had he, my lord? Why, one fair daughter, and no more, the which he loved passing well. Still on my daughter. Am I not in the right, old Jephthah? If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well. Nay, that follows not. What follows then, my lord? Why, as thy lot God what? And then, you know, it came to pass as most like it was. The first row of the pious chanson will show you more. For look where my abridgments come. You are welcome, masters. Welcome all. I'm glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. My old friend. Why, thy face is valiant since I saw thee last. Comest thou to be with me in Denmark? What, a young lady, a mistress? Why, a lady, your ladyship is nearer to heaven than when I saw you last by the altitude of a shopping. Pray God, your voice like a piece of uncurrent gold be not cracked within the ring. Masters, you are all welcome. We'll lean to it like French falconers, fly at anything we see. Come, give us a taste of your speech. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech. What speech, my good lord? I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted. Or if it was, not above once. For the play I remember pleased not the million. 'Twas caviare to the general. But it was as I received it, and others whose judgments in such matters cried in the top of mine, an excellent play, well digested in the scene, set down with as much modesty as cunning. I remember once said there were no salads in the lines to make the matter savoury, nor no matter in the phrase that I indict the author of affectation, recorded an honest method, as wholesome as sweet, and by very much more handsome than fine. One speech in it I chiefly loved, 'twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, especially when he speaks of prime slaughter. If it live in your memory, let it begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. No, 'tis not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble, when he lay couching in the ominous horse, hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with hereditary more dismal. Now is he total head to foot, now is he total ghouls, horribly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and impasted with the parching streets, that lend a tyrannous and damned light to their lord's murder, roasted in wrath and fire, and thus o'ersized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam, seeks. So proceed. Oh God, my lord, well spoken, with good accent, and good discretion. Anon he finds them striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then, senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming top stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus ear. For lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. And so, as a painted tyrant Pyrrhus stood, and, like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing. But, as we often see against some storm, a silence in the heavens, the rack stands still, the bold winds speechless, and the orb below is hush as death. Anon, the dreadful thunder doth rend the region. So, after Pyrrhus' pause, aroused vengeance sets anew awork, and never did the Cyclops' hammers fall on Mars' armor, forged for proof etern, with less remorse than Pyrrhus' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out, out, thou strumpet fortune! O you gods in general synod, take away her powers, break all the spokes and fellies from her wheel, and bore the round nave down the hill of heaven as low as to the fields. This is too long. Travel the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on. He's for a jig or a tale of Bodger, or he sleeps. Say on, come to Hecuba. But who, oh woe, had seen the Moblid Queen? Moblid Queen, that's good. Moblid Queen is good. Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with risen room. A clout upon that head, where like the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank and all her teamed loins, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, against fortune's stake with treason it pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamour that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven, and passionate the gods. But he has not turned his colour, and has tears in his eyes. Really, no more. It is well. I'll have you speak out the rest of this soon. Good my lord, do you see the players were bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for they're the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death you will better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live. My lord, I will use them according to their desert. Odds bodykins, man, much better. Use every man after his desert and you shall escape whipping. Use them after your own honour and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in. Come, sirs. Follow him, friends. We're here to play tomorrow. Just that hearing, old friend. Can you play the murder of Pensato?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have tomorrow night. You could, for me, study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down in Sunday, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord. And look you, mock him not. My good friends, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Ah, so, goodbye to you. Now I'm alone. Growing peasant slave mine. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit, that from her working all his visage wan, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole form suiting with and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing, for Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears, and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculty of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy, a dull and muddy meddled rascal, peak like John o' Dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my painted cross, plucks up my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deepest in the lungs. Who does me this, huh? Swoons, I should take it. For it cannot be that I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I would have fatted all the reeking kites with this slave's awful, bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Oh, vengeance! And what an ass am I? Aye, sure, this is most brave. If I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab, a scullion, fag upon it, foul! About my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so with the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, who have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous order. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before my uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I've seen may be the devil. And the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, so he is very good in such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative to this. The play's the thing, and then I'll catch the conscience of the king.